wanna know? Oh, 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 oh. Step into the ring, it's the champion's corner time. Oh, oh, WWE and we break it down. We shine from the top rope to the mat. All the action on the heat. Champions Corner podcast where the real fans meet. Champions Corner podcast where the real fans meet.
I get it from a standpoint because, not for nothing, when you think about wrestling, especially if you are a casual fan, as most would say, you think of WWE. They are the Kleenex of the industry, the Band-Aid. That
Yeah.
name is synonymous with what it is. So I get where TKO is coming from in the standpoint that the tickets were undervalued for a long time and they're just putting them at the value that they supposed to be in. Look at concert tickets. They've gone up. Almost any other attraction, whether it's a comedian, particular celebrity of some sort, those ticket prices, some would say, are pretty expensive. That's one perspective of it. But, this goes back to the discussion with Vince McMahon and why the tickets might have been undervalued. The theory is that he wanted to make sure it was family accessible. You want to bring them. I've always said this about wrestling, and I don't know, maybe it's offensive, but I always feel like professional wrestling is a traveling circus. And whenever they come into town, you want to take the kids along because they'll see their favorite stars. They'll pick up their favorite merch. They'll pick up their favorite toys. And if you start setting prices to a family of four, where before they're paying maybe $400, but now with the new ticket prices, they're paying $1,400, well, you got to make some choices. So maybe that family may make a choice not to go to see it this year. Who knows? Ugh. I hate to be the person. No, because we're still live. So I don't know. We'll see. In the end of it, I can see it from both sides. Personally, as a consumer, I would definitely prefer to pay a lower ticket price.
I'll go back because I like your point about a family. Wrestling is geared towards. It's the families, Professor. I got Eric Bischoff's quote in the queue.
Yeah,
All
go ahead
right,
and do the quote real quick.
all right.
Quick,
So
we can
this
all
is
be on the
Eric
same
Bischoff.
page.
You can still see me, right? Okay. So he
Yes.
says in regards to, he said this on the 83 Weeks podcast. Eric Bischoff defends TKO's decision to raise WWE's ticket prices. This is his quote. He says, I mean, does it make sense? You have a product, it's a widget, and you sell that widget. People go, well, I really like that widget. So you raise the price at a little more, and you keep increasing that price until you find your threshold. Bischoff says, and then once you find your threshold, you then begin to adjust your prices accordingly. I'm not shocked, but it's very interesting to me that people are surprised that any company will continue to increase the price of their product until they find their threshold. And so then he goes on to say, I wonder how WWE ticket sales compare to, it's hard to come up with comps, but let's talk about rock and roll, concerts like rock and roll. What have concert ticket prices done over the last 12 months on a percentage basis compared to what WWE has done in the last 12 months on a percentage basis? It'll be interesting to see what other forms of value entertainment that people actually go to. I am absolutely shocked when I looked at some of the prices for buildings that I previously worked in and produced television in. I mean, it's a different world today financially than it was even 8 years ago. It'd be fun to see somebody compare the two. So that's Eric Bischoff's. That's Eric
Yeah,
Bischoff's
Lonnie,
quote.
go ahead.
Off the bat, I'm just going to say I'm not a fan of the ticket prices going up, obviously, as a fan, because that does, but I also understand business, and let me explain my point here. But there's other companies out here doing the same thing right now. We just gotta I think Disney. I just heard Disney's raising every year. Disney raises its prices, right, based on the year. I know. I think I saw the NBA. I think has just recently raised their prices.
The
I think
NBA
as
done
well.
the NBA done a lot of
Uh,
They they got a lot going on.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
got a lot going
yeah,
on
yeah,
right now.
yeah. I ain't trying to open that whole box, y'all. I'm just trying. They're only 2 games
I
this season,
know.
right? 2 or
I
3
was
games
talking
this
about
season,
that too.
and then they trying to shoot for 3-pointers already.
They
But
doing more than 3-pointers.
Boy,
but yeah, but what? Yeah, they shooting 10-pointers. I get it. But what I'm saying is that I understand it as a fan, but I also understand business. Now, granted, I'm gonna make it clear. I do not like it because I feel like I do feel a part of it is phasing out some families who enjoy the sport for what it is, as opposed to people who are just trying to grab. And I get that. I get it too. I'm not a fan of it, but I also understand where they are now. Um I think I heard we might have talked about it on the show. Um Professor is good at bringing this stuff up because he digs it for it, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but didn't they say TKO had some kind of debt thing they was trying to get out of too by the end of the year at one point?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So the idea is that the UFC had them in some serious form of debt, and that the WWE purchase was a means of possibly clearing that out, and that's one of the reasons why everything has kind of gone up.
got it.
And that's also
That
the
has been a
thought
discussion.
process behind, like, once they clear that up, could the ticket prices go down or could they just stay the same? I don't know.
Well,
Oh,
here's
I
my
don't know, boy.
question.
When you cross that threshold, do you
No.
ever go off of that threshold? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let me ask you this then. Was that to that point? Was that supposed to be up to at least the end of this year or quote unquote business the next quarter? Because we just had Q1 for those who watching who don't understand that. We just started Q1. And that goes each one goes about 3.5, 4 months. So it does the beginning of the year, like the round that pops it, the big time, like they got the Rumbles, the Manias, that whole thing when they really started, elevating things and a lot of people start tuning in more, even for those casual fans who don't watch it on a regular basis like we might, but they watch WrestleMania season, right? They want to see what's going on from January to like April, when you get a lot bit more cap, if you will, that goes up. You know what I mean? So does that supposed to end then? Potentially, and then you kind of take a load off, and of course you go into SummerSlam and things of that nature. But what I'm saying is that the expectation? I don't know. I'm asking.
So you're saying
I
Q1,
don't. Oof.
you're saying the
Of
physical
speculation.
year of next year? That's what you're saying?
Well, they're Q1 now. They're Q1 now. They're Q. It's a little bit different, right? Because they're Q2 and started. It's like the end of the year for them because WrestleMania is their end of the year event, right? It's like 2025 ends, and then Raw is the new year, 2026, and then you kind of start over to end it again, right? So I'm wondering
Or
if that
SummerSlam.
right, if that is that the thinking I want to know. If I'm in the room, that's the question I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? Like what because I have to imagine. I would have to imagine with The Rock being on TKO, Triple H, Nick Khan, all of them saying, I would have to think they were like, guys, I understand we understand business, but we have a fan base. It's no way they're not hearing it, right? So it's a fan base
Well,
out here.
so
Yeah.
It's like, come on, like eventually we have
I,
to deal with this, right? We have to cross the eventually. That's what I'm
go
thinking.
ahead. Go ahead, DJ.
no, I hear you, and I get you from I was so shareholders. Well, no, I don't think they hear. Do they? They don't have it's a TKO stock now, so
Yeah, it's TKO
Because
you
stock
still
now.
have
it's
to
not
answer the
private. It's
shareholder.
not
So you have
private
to still
anymore. It's
answer
a
the
public traded
shareholder.
company now.
Well, yeah, WWE. Well, either way, from the idea of until they start getting full empty arenas, I don't think it's going to become too much
I
of a
agree.
concern or a discussion.
Mhm.
It's one of those things where it's like, hey, I know people don't like the ticket prices, but I mean, what's to stop us from doing the ticket prices? So again, until the arena start going to a half empty arena, until we start seeing a dip in viewership and the product, I don't think there'll be a high concern about lowering anything. I mean, consumers are going to pay what they're going to pay.
Mhm.
The iPhone has been the iPhone forever, and the prices
Every
still
year.
seem to go up on that too. So it's like, I get it. And again, I'm not a huge anti-capitalist. I'm not a huge capitalist, but I'm not naive to think that if you already open up the door to we're going to charge $100 more, I'm not going to start taking $100 back if you still willing to pay that $100 more. I might go 150 more. Oh, you like it that much? All right,
Yeah.
175. I don't know. And I mean,
So,
how much money is
so
too money? Too much money becomes the
I
next
agree.
question.
I agree with everything that's been said, especially your point, Professor, because because this is what it's like, right? And we see this just in your everyday shopping. They throw it out there to see if let's see if the people going to take it. If they take it, somebody's going to pay for it. We don't need the masses. We got enough people paying this. So let's keep going. And to Eric Bischoff's point, they're trying to find that threshold. So they're going to go and pump it and pump it and pump it. And then let's keep in mind, they're riding off of a few different projections, because you got a lot of different things that go on in WWE. It's not like, you're coming, if it was one guy, like a concert, like we coming to see our favorite band or something like that, we're just coming for that favorite band. But you got multiple stuff that's going on inside of an everyday program. So I think they're gonna run it, milk the cow until it ain't got no more milk in it. Then we'll adjust after that, and we'll see. We're gonna throw our chips and see where they land. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I get all that too. That's why I said both my sides as a fan, like growing up on it. Yeah, hate to see that. Just like anything else, right? You're gonna hear a lot of people say, okay, let me give you an example. Where I work at, y'all know where I work at. I'm not gonna say that on here. Y'all know where I work at. And a new system rolls out. You're used to doing things the old way, right? A new system rolls out. Now you gotta get used to it again. So everybody's kind of right? Because now you gotta get used to it again, and you don't want the old way. The famous quote, "I'm old school. I'm old school," right? So they'll say those things, but then when something new happens, and then by the time they get used to it, you don't hear that no more, right? They got a new system until the next time it's something to evolve again using a new system. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
gotta do it
like,
over again.
so I get it. I'm just speaking. I can't sit here and say just as a fan, though, ticket price hearing that's like, man, it's crazy. But I mean, look at the example. From my understanding, John Cena's retirement show done sold out.
Yeah, sold out.
You know what I'm saying? So, I get all the points too, and it's a good, healthy discussion. I mean, yeah, people going to pay. People going to pay this, that, and the other. And then I think once they get I guess a good grab on it, like, okay, we can level out here, or we can keep it here because we're seeing consistent, whatever. Like again, I'm very interested to see how that Mania season goes, especially since they're starting it in Saudi, right? In Rumbles in Saudi. So I'm very
It's
curious.
gonna be real interesting.
I'm very curious how that, because you know how it is over there. They got it, So I'm very interested to see how that kicks off the season of WrestleMania. With them being over there, my point is, ladies and gentlemen, based on the WrestleMania 43 announcement and how Saudi likes to get big stars over there, I'm assuming that the Royal Rumble, they're going to have some big stars come out to participate in the Rumble potentially, or make an appearance to set up something, maybe not physically. That's what I'm thinking. Now, this ain't your every year crown jewel and king and queen and ring over there. This is a big staple in the company, right? So I'm thinking when that time comes, something big is going to happen. That's essentially what I'm saying. Because, again, they're going back to Vegas for the second year in a row. It's got to be some big reason they want to do that, right? Other than the home base.
I don't think.
I think in Vegas is really. I think in Vegas is like, no,
We need you back.
come on, we need you back. What do you need?
Yeah.
50,
We need you
30?
back. I mean,
Yeah, I don't care. You want a casino? We'll figure it out.
mean, anybody been to Vegas? If you've been to Vegas, you know. If you know, you know. Like, I've been to Vegas. We were just talking about that off air. Like, I've been to Vegas, and compared to this year and last year, it's night and day. I mean, it's a ghost town.
This is a ghost town. But I have a question though. When you say big star, just out of curiosity, who's a big star you think they're gonna try to bring out for those manias?
Well, you got the obvious. People say The Rock. People say Austin, things of that nature as well. People might even speculate to say Shawn Michaels. They may even say Stan John Cena's retirement tour. However, when I'm thinking about thinking about big stars, I'm thinking about not just the appearance in terms of coming back and like really set up something. Like let's say, for example, if Roman comes back, let's say Roman doesn't appear the rest of the year, which we probably likely he's going to appear for Survivor Series. But what I'm saying, let's say if he doesn't, and let's say Seth comes back at the same time, and you do some kind of formulation there, a big moment like that, right? And let's just say for the heck of it, I'm a borrow Sean's line, fantasy booking myself into something. Let's just say Mox shows up, right? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Let's just say something like that happened. Or all these rumors about Jericho, Jericho coming back. Right? Yeah, all these rumors about Jericho.
Coming back.
What if that's the big thing that comes back? Let me see who else out. They got a whole list. Or Who else has been gone for a
Moxley.
while that can come back? Like, who that's on a free contract right now?
Andrade.
You know what? Oddly enough, I saw reports he might be coming back to WWE because he got that year that he can't. It's a no compete. No.
Yeah, he's got a non-compete clause for a year,
Yeah.
so they may leverage that to make him still do work. And he may
Yeah.
be doing AAA stuff, which that
Right.
should have been the ideal anyway. Put him in AAA with Santos Escobar and the Iguana guy that people seem to love.
Some things in wrestling you just can't get away from. I remember the night on Raw when Vince McMahon came out and said ECW was no longer going to be a thing. Oh, some things you can't. It's there, then it's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you can't get away from it. But that's what I mean by big stars, because obviously, I mean, the Undertaker probably make an appearance. I get that, but I don't. There's nobody out